Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Fight podcast. I'm joined by my good friend James. How you been, James?
Very good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad, thank you, mate. This is the 10th episode.
10th episode. We're kind of getting out of lockdown and things are
Yeah,
getting back to normal. But yeah, 10th episode.
yeah, it's mad. I'm glad we kept it going.
Yeah,
It's still early days, but many more to come. This is good.
100%. Yeah, definitely. We just need to get ourselves out there a little bit more and stuff like that
Yeah,
and get some more, well, new listeners. We obviously love our regulars, but yeah, just obviously it's going to get to that point where we need to just get that bit bigger. But I think it's going well. We've
yeah.
had some amazing fights in these 10, 11 weeks. So yeah, so like UFC, like there were some major fights, different champions. Boxing, there were some
Well,
massive upsets and some massive wins. So yeah, we've had a great 10 episodes. So
to be fair, I think this year in boxing, there's probably been so many upsets. It's crazy to talk about it, isn't it? Like how many upsets there've been.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but yeah,
Like,
but
like undefeated fighters are losing their rows. It's just unbelievable.
also the fact is like new and up and coming. Um, Boxing is just unbelievable. You've also got like the new British people. We know we love our Brits, but the new British boxers that are just gonna like light up the stage soon, and loads of stuff's happening. So we've got another 10 weeks. I'm sure of it.
Oh, it's going to be insane. It's so good to be a fight fan, and for our listeners as well. I believe they feel the same way that
Yeah,
these combat sports are at its most exciting times at the moment.
yeah, definitely. Obviously, there was massive change as well, and what's going to happen now? Now that things are going to slowly get back to normal, and there's going to be things opening, and obviously shows having fans in and stuff like that. There's going to be big fights happening, so
Yeah, definitely.
it's going to be wicked. Yeah, it's going to be good.
But yeah, as always, let's start off with the UFC, and then we'll go into boxing in our second part of the episode.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so 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 this weekend we had UFC 262 in Houston, Texas, with another full crowd. Another great card of fights. Due to the fans being in attendance, the fights were unbelievable again, full of energy. The fighters came out and delivered. It was great. Um, the prelim headliner featured Jacare Souza versus Andre Muniz. Mate, this was mad. I don't know if you saw this fight, but Jacare Souza is a legend of the sport. He has unprecedented ground game and submission game. He's one of the best to ever do it. And this guy Andre, yeah, coming into this fight, he said he believes he has the grappling advantage in this fight, which is a crazy statement to make against someone who's a legend, who's known for doing it at
Yeah,
their own field.
yeah, definitely.
And yeah, when this fight begun, Souza landed some heavy strikes in the opening minutes of the first round, and then Andre goes for a takedown right in midpoint of the round, gets him into the ground with ease. To be fair, and then he was showing some good control on the ground as well. But Souza managed to get up to his feet. There was a few more strikes on the stand up, and then Andre goes for another takedown, scrambles to his back, managed to get his arm, and then he just snaps it in half, clean, breaks his arm.
Oh no.
And mate,
Oh,
this arm
oh,
break was so loud.
oh no, that's horrible.
Like, yeah, 17,000 fans in attendance, and you could hear the bones snap. It was like someone smacking a tree with a baseball bat. It was unbelievable.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it was just a clean break. It was like nasty.
Oh, I bet you love that, but that to me sounds like hell. But no, but one of the things is obviously that's impressive. Like big fight, and obviously when you can do stuff like that, it just makes it even better, doesn't it?
Yeah, to take down someone who's known for doing that,
Yeah,
and you
that's
do it and use it against him. It's mad. It's
yeah,
mad stuff.
it's wicked. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's great.
But the thing is, though, obviously legends do have a time period. Like, obviously, he's a legend of the sport. He has his game, but there's always that young kid. There's always that young kid that
Always
can
up and
turn
coming.
things
Yeah,
around and stuff like that.
yeah,
So it's obviously exciting.
yeah. But yeah, hopefully he gets a speedy recovery and gets back to the drawing board. He says he wants to come back, so
Yeah,
we'll
good.
see what happens.
Yeah, good for him.
And then the main card opener featured a featherweight fight between Edson Barboza versus Shane Burgos. This is ranked 13 versus ranked 9. Unbelievable fight. So this fight, yeah, Barboza opens the fight with his trademark leg kicks because he's known for his leg
Oh,
kicks.
he's so good.
He's so good. He just picks legs apart, and it's just like the worst thing to deal with when you fight Edson Barboza. You can see it in Burgos his way his stance was as well, that he weren't taking those kicks very well. That
Yeah,
he was starting to stiffen up. He couldn't like dance on his feet. But Burgos was showing some really great boxing as well, digging into the body, then going upstairs as well. It was back and forth pretty much for the whole fight until the third round. Barboza lands a right hook, and this is one of the strangest finishes I've ever seen in a fight. So Barboza lands his right hook, right, and then Burgos just seemed fine for like a brief of 3 seconds. Then all of a sudden he just starts falling backwards, and his eyes falls to the ground. Barboza rushes in, finishes the fight quite quickly. Then the referee jumps in, but it was just a really weird delay for the body because like he hit him, then he was like still in front of him,
yeah,
and then the body just like shut down. It was like a 3 second delay before he started having the effect from the punch. It was really weird.
that is strange.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. No, what is it?
Yeah,
Is it a strange, weird?
it was really strange. Like he lands the hook and then seems fine. 3 seconds later, he starts collapsing and falling over the place. It was like a really delayed action.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
That is.
really strange.
I don't get why that happened.
Nah, it was really weird, really strange. And then the co-main event, we had Tony Ferguson versus Dariush, and mate, Dariush pretty much dominated this fight everywhere it went. It was like a repeat of the Oliveira fight.
Right. Okay.
Wherever it wherever it went, whether it was stand up, ground, everything. I really feel Tony Ferguson that everyone loved is no longer with us. I
Yeah,
think he passed away in the Justin Gaethje fight.
he's
I
gone.
really, I really, I really think he's gone. Yeah, he took a lot of punishment in that fight, and he's never been the same since.
Am I right in saying that that could be his last fight in the UFC?
Very possible, mate. It's very possible
Is that something that could happen?
because it's three in a row.
Yep.
Um, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, you know what the UFC is like? They're quite strict with their three in a row rules.
Yeah, they are.
So,
They've done it
so
to many champions.
yeah,
So
they got rid of Tyron Woodley, Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem. They've all lost three in a row and been kicked out. So we'll have to see what happens. But Tony's so tough though, mate. I mean, in the second round, Dariush got him in an ankle lock, right, and twisted his knee. And Dariush said he felt his knee pop, but Tony didn't tap. And you can see in his face, Tony was screaming in agony during the
yeah,
submission attempt. And this is a rare thing because Tony's that type of guy who doesn't show any emotion or any sign that he's in pain.
he's
He's just
normally
like
really good on the ground as well.
very good on the ground. And that knee would have stopped anyone else, but he just kept going. And then Darius was saying in his interview afterwards that I felt that knee pop, and I tore his knee apart, and he looked at me like it was nothing. He called him a zombie.
It's so weird. That is so
Yeah,
strange.
it is so strange because that would have made anyone else tap or end the fight, but he just carries on.
I've
It's
there is
insane.
not there is not another person like him really. There's no one to compare him like
Nah,
to.
he's
He's
he's a
just
one
one
of a
in his
kind.
own, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a one of a kind person.
But yeah,
I mean, he hits metal poles, doesn't he, with his legs, and
yep.
he tries to toughen up his elbows by hitting concrete posts and stuff. He's insane, absolute nut job. But I love Tony Ferguson as a
Yeah,
fight fan.
the classic
He's been in
Tony
some
Ferguson was great.
he's been in some crazy fights, but yeah, I really feel that the Justin Gaethje fight killed him,
Yeah,
and
of
he's not the
course.
same.
Yeah, of course. Sad
Yeah,
times, but it's just what the way it is.
just the way it is. That's the
It
fight
is
game
what
for
it
you,
is. That's what they say.
innit? And then we had the main event, which featured the vacant lightweight championship between Charles Oliveira versus Iron Mike Chandler, USA versus Brazil, UFC versus Bellator in a way.
Yep.
This fight was insane. I don't know if you saw it, but this fight started off with Oliveira immediately dropping Chandler with a leg kick. and then Chandler gets to his feet, and Oliveira was like it was in like a karate stance. He was using like his front kicks, and he was doing like some lot of front striking from the front.
Yeah.
And then Chandler sort of catches Oliveira with a left hook and hurts him, goes for a takedown, and then Chandler immediately cashes him into a guillotine, and it was really tight. I mean, both of them were still dry. It was early in the fight. Oliveira managed to get out of it, managed to get to the back of Chandler. Then they scramble around for a bit, and then when it gets back to the feet, um, Chandler hurts Oliveira badly with a volley of haymakers. Oliveira drops to his knees, and Chandler was trying to finish the fight, but um, Oliveira managed to survive the round. Going into round two, Oliveira starts throwing strikes and lands a perfect left hook. It just lands perfectly.
Lush.
Hurts Chandler badly. He tries to get back to his feet, but Oliveira just starts throwing loads of strikes. And he's very accurate with his striking. And then Chandler just gets knocked out cold. And then that was the end of the fight. Oliveira is now the UFC lightweight champion.
I hear that him and Conor McGregor have already been talking.
They have, yeah. Oliveira was, sent a little message saying, get through Poirier first, then we'll talk.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That'd
That's a
be
dangerous fight for McGregor, though.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, I reckon Connor's definitely got the striking advantage in that fight with Oliveira, but when it comes to the ground, he doesn't want to be there
Yeah. Yeah, true.
because he's more dangerous than Nate Diaz.
Yeah, if you're more yeah, because Nate's one of a kind in that kind of position. Because he's so tall and so long, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
He like it makes everything really difficult. But obviously, he Conor McGregor obviously drew to him and lost him and then won, didn't they?
That's it.
So he can beat them. He knows like the kind of way of doing it, but it is a very hard fight. You are right, but no, well done him. Like
Yeah,
obviously, I love it. I love a new champion. We've had a fair few in obviously the UFC recently.
we
So
have.
it's good. It's good that they're all obviously changing around and new people come in. And but I didn't like the sound of like obviously Tony Ferguson going because I thought him in my eyes, obviously when I just got into UFC, he was the Don really. He
He
was the
was
one
at the
that
time.
everyone
Yeah,
wanted to fight, and obviously him and
mm,
Khabib never had that fight that everyone wanted to watch.
yeah.
So yeah, it was a shame, but
It was just like cursed fight, and that was never meant to happen.
yeah, I didn't think I don't think both of them wanted it either.
No, it was one of them would have died in that fight if they would have fought. Maybe it was fate to not let them fight.
Yeah, maybe just leave it to them to like never fight ever again.
Saint didn't want them fighting in that cage. I mean, because they booked it for the sixth time, COVID happened.
It's crazy. Yeah, you just
The
never it was
world
never
shut
supposed
down.
to happen.
Yeah,
But
it's insane.
was the whole general card in all from like obviously prelims to main card good?
Yeah, very good,
Challenge?
mate. Prelims were entertaining right from the start. There was a couple that weren't like amazing, but there was a good few in there that were great. I really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it,
Oh, good
and the
news.
fans loved it as well. They were fully energized, and yeah, it's buzzing.
Okay,
Great event.
that's wicked. So what's
Mm.
happening next week?
So this weekend, sorry,
Oh, sorry, this week.
the
Yeah.
yeah, this weekend the UFC's back in the Apex in Las Vegas for a UFC Fight Night event. The main event will feature the return of a fan favorite, Cody Garbrandt, versus Rob Font at bantamweight.
Nice.
Um, Rob Font has a record of 18-4 with 8 knockouts and 4 submissions. Currently on a 3-fight win streak, coming off a knockout win over title contender Marlon Moraes. He's a very good fighter. Cody Garbrandt has a record of 12-3 with 10 wins by knockout. Has hard, heavy hands and loves to scrap. Coming back after a vicious knockout over Rafael Sunsao last year. It's one of the nicest knockouts I've ever seen. Have you seen that one from last year?
I think I did. I think I
Where
did. Yeah.
he's leaning against the back of the cage and he just catches him with a hard right hook and just puts him out cold.
Yeah.
It was so fast and hard. It
Straight
was a
to
lovely
straight
knockout.
to the deck.
Straight to the deck. Yeah, it was brutal.
So
Loved it. So
who's the champion of that division?
he was the champion.
Yeah.
Um, it's what's his name?
I can't think.
Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jermaine Sterling.
yeah, he won it by DQ in his last fight.
I remember. So yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he
Mm.
didn't want to.
So
He didn't want the fight because obviously he wasn't
yeah, it
supposed
was.
to win it, was he? Because he got kneed in the head. Am I right?
That's right. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Peter Yan was the champion, and then
Yeah,
he knees Aljamain, and then Aljamain says he couldn't continue, so he won it by DQ.
I remember
So
that.
they're gonna have a rematch at some point, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, I thought so. But these are contenders, aren't they, for that title?
They will be, yes,
Yeah,
they're in the top five,
yeah.
so
So this is like a coming up
title
to
eliminator.
title eliminator. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, so it should be. I reckon this will be a good fight, mate. Rob Font is one of those guys who likes to bring a bit of a war, and you both know what Cody's like, so
He's
it
vicious.
should be. He's vicious, so it should be a good one.
Yeah, great. No, sounds good.
And then in other news, UFC has now gone public. Dana White says this will only elevate the sport. He says, "Wait until you see what we do in the next 2 years. It's going to take UFC to another level." He claims. So actually, be interesting what he's got planned.
So what does that mean?
Um, it's gone public, like the company. You can buy shares in the UFC now.
Ah, okay.
It's no longer private, so it's now a public company.
There'll be some billionaires paying money into that, especially as
Hundred
like
percent.
obviously investments and money and oil is just really low at the moment. And you see like people investing in football, women's sports. Like
Yeah,
they're finding different ways of obviously investing. You'll find that yeah, you'll see a difference in UFC.
yeah. Apparently, that it's going to boost up their budget for future events. And Dana White says he's got loads of cool things planned. So he says, wait till he said he wants to do Fight Island, and then he's going to come back and he's going to reveal what he's going to do. So it should be interesting what he's got planned. He sounds pretty excited about it though. So we'll see what he's going to do.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, sounds
Hmm.
good. Yeah, that's wicked.
Derek Lewis is now confirmed to face Francis Ngannou for the heavyweight championship in mid-August.
Nice.
So that should be a good one.
So Jones wasn't available.
No, Jones says he's yeah. According to Dana White, Jones says he'll call him when he's ready. So, but in other words, they wouldn't give him the money that he requested.
That's a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
No
So
one's bigger than the sport. That's what I like to think.
yeah, just because I know Jones is the goat, there's no question about it. But Dana White's the boss at the end of the day. He calls the shots, not John Jones.
I like
So
that. I like that because
yeah,
it's in all the sports. Really, you'll have everyone that's like contract demands and stuff like that, and when they get turned down and they're the best, it just shine. It just shows strength in the company, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly.
It's
And
good.
I know it's a huge fight, but I think if Jones says he's serious about going to up to heavyweight, he's gonna have to face him at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
So it
I'd have
should.
a top 10 fight first before fighting Ngannou if I was John Jones. But
Yeah, I agree. I think he should fight someone top five or top 10 just to get
yeah,
a feel for the heavyweights in the cage. I mean, I know he's probably training with heavyweights, but it's completely different when you fight with someone
yeah, of course.
under the lights. Do you know what I mean? So should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Stipe Miocic is also coming back for revenge. He's bulking up to 265. He feels in his last fight with Ngannou he was too light, so he's now bulking up and he looks hungry.
We said
So he
that.
wants to.
I
Yeah,
said that he didn't look right.
you did. Yeah, you did say he looked extra skinny, didn't you?
Yeah, I said he didn't look right in the whole ring. I thought it was a bit like something wrong.
Yeah.
It
So
looked like he looked ill.
he did a little bit. And my dad said the same thing when he was watching. He's like, Stipe don't look right.
Yeah, he just looks ill.
It looks like he's undernourished. He said.
Yeah. Yeah, good shout.
But yeah, so he's bulking up and he's back in the gym. He seems to be hungry. He wants that title back. So that's a interesting fight to see in the far future. What do you
Definitely, yeah,
reckon?
that'll be good.
And what else we got? We got Nick Diaz. His announcement is expected soon, I'd imagine, because he was seen training in the gym. He's also been seen training with Tyson Fury as well. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah, so he's
interesting.
been giving some Tyson Fury a few tricks.
Yeah, I did see that. I don't think Tyson Fury. I don't know, but it could happen. But Tyson Fury in the UFC, eh?
I'll imagine that could be his next move if he beats Anthony Joshua twice. He might take on Ngannou in the UFC.
He's done the WWE, or if he gets knocked out by Joshua, he could go to the UFC.
Or you could do that,
Could
yeah.
go either way.
Either way, he can do some big fights.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And finally, Conor McGregor has announced the birth of his third child. He's now got another son.
Yeah, I saw that. Isn't it Ryan? Ryan?
It's spelt different. It's spelt weird. It's like R with a weird I. I think it's Ryan, but it's spelt like Rian.
Yeah, Rian. Yeah, it might even be Rian. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
It's but
but
yeah, well chuffed.
yeah,
They're both going to be
but
fighters, though. Have you seen his son already? Like
yeah, he's
he's
proper into it.
training it and proper
Yeah,
into fighting.
the McGregor sons are going to be
Yeah,
a lethal force someday.
yeah, I know.
But yeah, looking forward to that. But that's all from me, mate, on the UFC side. So thank you for listening to part one. We're now going to part two, and James is going to take over to do the boxing side. See you in a sec, guys.
Yeah, perfect. Right, welcome back, guys. Just yeah, very exciting times in the UFC, and also very exciting times in boxing. You notice that crowds are happening now, and in England as well. There's going to be accepted people coming back in, and fights are going to be happening quick. We had our last show where they will have the bubble, the fighters bubble, and also no fans. The last Matchroom card that happened. Obviously, the main fighter was Buatsi versus Dos Santos, which was a great main card. What I'll tell you about is the undercard first, because it was quite impressive, like an amazing show. Don't you think, Sam?
100%. It
Another
was a great event.
another great show. You didn't know which ways they were going to go. You had some wonder kids. You had some people that you haven't seen fight in a while. Yeah, it was a really good show. Firstly, a brand new fighter on the scene called Solomon Dakrez won his professional debut by outpointing Manev over 6 rounds. It was obviously your first professional fight. You got your nerves. You've got obviously the whole training camp and all your schooling and everything going into one, and it turns into a massive blur. But he got the win, which was great, and won over 6 rounds. 6 rounds in the ring is a good first fight, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. That's really good, to be fair, for his first pro fight.
I just don't think. I think sometimes when you have your first fight or your second fight and you win in 2 rounds, okay, it's impressive. You got power. Getting them rounds in is really important. Campbell Hatton, for example, was like his last fight. Really important that he went quite a lot of rounds instead of like your two and your ones and stuff like that. I feel it's impressive
Yeah,
when you do that knockout power, but you gain so much more from it if you carry on with rounds. I believe.
yeah, 100%.
We also saw one of my new favourites, Dalton Smith. I said to Sam straight away, we were watching it obviously together in different houses, text each other, and I said, this is the guy who's going to be the next best thing." Eddie Hearn shouting about him, everyone shouting about him. He's undefeated, super lightweight. Dalton Smith has won 8. He's got 8 fights now under his belt, 7 knockouts. He stopped Lee Appleyard, who
Hmm.
isn't your. He has had a lot of fights. He's had 16 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw, 5 KO. So he knows what he's doing. He isn't just your he isn't just your journeyman. And he beat him in the sixth round to gain the vacant English title. He's got his first title round his round his waist. He was chuffed to bits about it. He dedicated it to his granddad. It was a nice touch. Did you see that, Sam?
Yeah, I saw the fight from start to finish. It was quite a good fight. It was a cagey opener, but obviously Smith forces Appleyard to be unbalanced with that left hand, didn't he, in the first
I
round?
think like
And then
yeah, Smith had a lot of power. He has loads of power. He's super quick,
yeah,
and he just for obviously super lightweights are quick, aren't they? But he just seems to be on the ball a lot, and he has got. I think he's got bricks for hands, really, and and
yeah,
it shows.
and I feel he has quite good IQ because it only took to round two when he when he found his range, and he was able to put the pressure on Appleyard throughout the rest of the fight.
Yeah, because the first round, I thought, yeah, you are right. It was they were just judging each other out, but it was quite cagey. But then second, it didn't take long for him to like find the
No,
gap, which
he
I thought was
adjusted quick. He adjusted quick. He's got good IQ. Learnt um, to strike him and keep the pressure and find his range. So he controlled the fight from round two onwards. It was good.
yeah, yeah, it was. It was very very impressive. Next fight was EBU cruiserweight champion Tommy McCarthy versus Alexandru Ju. I don't know.
Yeah,
Jur was it? Do you think? I think I pronounced it right.
yeah, the
the
European
Yeah, that was a
Championship,
European
wasn't it?
championship fight. Yeah, Tommy McCarthy came out really well. Um, you could tell why he's the champion. Yeah, 18 wins, 2 losses, 9 knockouts. Pretty impressive fighter as well. Looked like he was quite comfortable in the ring. Uh,
Yeah, he loved that jab, didn't he, from the beginning?
he just always constant jabbing. Obviously, took 6 rounds, technical knockout. He did drop him in the fourth though, which I thought that was what was going to kill him off. But
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was a it was a right hook to the body,
yeah,
which sent him to the canvas. But yeah, he survived it, didn't he?
yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Yeah, that he carried on, which was it was good of him. Obviously, he showed a bit of fight. This guy,
Mm.
He did. He's not like a youngster either. Like 19 wins, 5 losses, 7 knockouts. So it's not like it's his first fight. So they both knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought it was quite impressive. I've never really like seen them guys before, really heard of them, but it was quite impressive. I thought it was quite a good equal fight. But then obviously McCarthy just put the foot on the pedal, really.
yeah, and he got the win. And apparently, he's now scheduled to fight Chris Billiam Smith next,
That's good, right?
which is apparently it's going to be a good scrap. Apparently, according to some analysts.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think so. I think that will be good. Just wait and see. Wait and see
Yeah,
where it gets signed up. Um, Next fight, underdog Jason Cunningham upset and dethroned the EBU Super Bantamweight champion Gamal Yaffe. I thought it was a really good round. Like
yeah, it
12
was a
round,
shocking.
yeah, 12 round fight. They're obviously back and forth. I thought um, Cunningham did show his class though, but Yafari, he did like show determination, showed his heart, showed the reason why he was the champion as well in my eyes. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I thought it was really. I was really surprised when he got that knockdown in the second round,
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I was
and
like,
I was like, "What's going on? That's crazy!" And then he got up, and then
yeah, so
yeah, then he got him took him down again in the fourth
fourth,
round.
yeah, fourth.
Yeah,
So it's the second
it was
break,
the second and
the
fourth.
fourth
Yeah,
break, and then there was a six. So
which was mental.
technically, now I thought normally sometimes when you get counted out for free, I don't know if they do that anymore, but like in these rounds, I don't think they did. I think he dropped him 3 times, but
He did.
uh,
He showed a lot of heart though. Yafai.
yeah, definitely. Like I've got his details here, like 18 wins, 2 losses, 10 knockouts. You've got Jason Cunningham, 29 fights, 6 losses, knockouts. So Cunningham is that kind of guy that does go the distance in his fights. But
It's quite a good record though, isn't it?
it is a great record. It is. It is. It's really good. But you could tell that he can go the whole 12. And
Yeah,
he obviously showed that on this fight.
yeah. He's proved that he can go deep waters if it needs to go
Yeah,
there.
the card
But a
was
major upset.
the card was 115 to 110, 114 to 111, and 114 to 111. So it's
Mm.
not the furthest away. Obviously, the rounds that he won was 2, 4, and 6. So yeah, you think that he only won other two? He won two more rounds. So yeah, fair
I
play.
were expect I were expecting the scorecards to be a bit more higher for Cunningham due to the three knockdowns, but they
Yeah,
were not far apart. To be fair,
yeah, no, that's what I thought. So Yafari like basically won round three and round five probably. I'm not sure. Well, it could have been close, or he
mm.
just won the last six. It's I don't know. They are quite
Madness.
close to be fair, but in my eyes, the next fight was the best fight of the night and probably the best display in boxing I've seen for a long, long while. It actually shocked me how good this guy was.
This is
Lerone,
the
Ri-
Larone fight.
Lerone Richards was unbelievable the whole fight. I don't know about you, but he just like was so good. I'd never like his movement, his like tempo, the punches he was throwing, the different ranges he was going at. He was using his like reach. He was like coming in close when the guy is is known for the other guy known for like obviously punching it within his range.
Well, I love these defense because, like in round three, I think it was Carolis was
Yeah,
trying to throw
the Carolus. Yeah.
strikes, and he just couldn't land on him. He couldn't touch him.
Couldn't touch it at all, and you could
No.
see his frustration. That's when you know you've got a fighter. You've got a
Yeah.
fighter in the back pocket. If he started to get frustrated and he's not thinking straight, he just wants to levy your head off.
And it
You'll
just
find
boosts
that,
it boosts the momentum
yeah,
for Richards because he's now gonna feed off that
yeah,
and
definitely,
make it even more uncomfortable for his opponent.
yeah. So
But
now
yeah,
we
he was
obviously want to see Lerone Richards a lot more because Lerone Richards has only had 15 fights. He's won all of them and three knockouts. Um, so one of the things is that he's had a long career and not had a lot of fights. So fingers crossed we see him a lot more now. Um,
yeah.
the singing afterwards as well, absolutely hilarious.
Oh, what was the song?
Hot cross buns.
Hot
Yeah,
Cross Buns. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, what is going on with that?
I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, I know.
I had to text you, didn't I? I was
Yeah.
like, what's going on here?
But no, I think like people are talking about him now, which is really good. Obviously, he outboxed former WBA champion, and now he is taken the vacant EBU super middleweight title. He's got a lot of
Yeah,
people to fight as well. He's got a lot of
he's
people to fight in that middleweight in that.
he's in the conversation now, though, mate.
Yeah, because
He's
there's a
in the
lot of
conversation.
people. There is a lot of
You know?
people that will want to fight him, and he would want to fight loads. The card was ridiculous as well. Did you hear the numbers? Like
Yeah, that
120 to 108.
yeah, it was mad. And then you had 119, 109 as well.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous number. Pretty much every round.
Yeah, dominant.
Yeah,
But I did learn one thing about Lerone Richards.
yeah,
As far he's a brilliant, skilled boxer, but he's more of a volume fighter than a knockout artist. Did you agree with that?
yeah, definitely. He was saying in this interview afterwards that he has the power, but I'm not sure. It's hard to
Well,
judge.
his coach was saying something quite interesting. He said he's still learning, and he said his coach was saying once he's learned these few little things he needs to do, then he will start stopping people. I thought that was quite interesting, that line what you said there,
Yeah, definitely.
because that kind of makes sense. Yes, Lerone Richards still got more to learn, and I think once he's got there, then he might become an unstoppable force that we expect him to see.
Yeah, he was class.
What
Though.
do you reckon?
He was class.
Oh yeah, 100%,
He was
hundred
so good.
percent.
And if he can add power into his game, like we were saying, if he can add power into that kind of fight, that is just a serious fighter. He would
Yeah,
be in like top five, probably fighting like maybe getting the titles because
yeah.
he
It'd be
was
good to see.
that good.
Imagine where he will be in 12 months' time.
Yeah, I reckon he'll have a couple of fights underneath him. Because
Yeah,
now he's on Well, I think he's been on Matchroom for a while, but now I think he's involved more. I think that's
yeah.
quality.
He's got the spotlight a bit now, so
Yeah, definitely. So yeah,
they'll-
main event: Joshua Buatsi I like watching Joshua Buatsi fight. I think he's brilliant. He obviously has a lot of fighters in that light heavyweight kind of pack that is in there at the moment. The British kind of British are running the roost in that kind of um, weight class at the moment. He had a fight. The fighter was against unbeaten Daniel dos Santos, which is from France.
Yeah,
Really,
15-0.
yeah, really unknown kind of fighter. Didn't really like. No one knew what he was like. No one's really seen him fight. He had lots of fights in France. Buatsi said the same kind of thing. I didn't know what he was like. I didn't know what he was capable of. Didn't know his punching power and stuff like that. But it was a brutal knockout. It was just
Oh, face first to the canvas.
because I thought that Dos Santos, like in round 1, 2, and 3, were like he was out of his depth. It was like a different league. Um, I knew that he's a big lad, isn't he? So he can cause problems.
Mm.
He kind of knew what he was doing. I didn't know if he was like maybe outpaced or something like that, and something might click because he was the taller guy, and I thought, hang on a minute, this still could be quite dangerous for Buatsi. But yeah,
Well, my take from the first opening 2 rounds of the fight is, I don't know if you saw, but if you look in Dos Santos' face, he looked like in disbelief that he was getting beat like this.
yeah,
It looked like he's never been in this much trouble is any time in his career.
yeah,
So he was like, he looked a bit thrown off, like what the hell's going on? I'm getting beat here. Like you can see it in his face. He's like, what's going on?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Bratsy was just unbelievable,
He was lethal,
dominant.
wasn't it? So
Yeah,
yeah, now that's like 14 fights, 12 knockouts. It's just a great kind of record, isn't it? Going into obviously, it's now the next level. That's what everyone was saying on the telly. Now it was like next level. Don't be fighting no DeSantos's. You need to be fighting people that are in the higher up rankings that
it's time
will
to move up.
obviously will be the one. But no, he obviously retained his. But like the right hand that he landed was outrageous. He's got that new trainer, hasn't he? His first fight, Virgil Hunter.
Yeah.
It looks like
Mm.
Virgil Hunter seemed quite like a calm, like individual, and it matched Buatsi quite well. I feel like he's going to learn quite a lot from him. Like
Yeah, well, he said going into his fight, he taught him to use more feints and keep the feet moving, and he said he did just that.
he also said that if he goes out and does 30% of what we coached, then he would win that fight. So obviously he's working really hard to become hold more titles. He's got the WBA obviously title, international title, but yeah, let's go and get some more. If I was him,
Apparently, there's 3 names in the talks for his next opponent. They're talking about maybe doing Gilberto Ramirez,
yep.
Dimitri Bivol,
But
or
yeah, Beevor, yeah,
Bivol, or Craig Richards. But they reckon Craig Richards is probably the best fight to make. They reckon that would be a good one.
because that could finish Craig Richards. Not finish him, but like finish him rising up because he's obviously coming. It's just coming straight back into it, and
Hmm.
if Buatsi beats him, that kind of like derails is like him going back into the top flight. So
Yeah,
let's just see what happens. But no, I thought it was
he's
a
got
great
3 fights.
card. I thought it was a great card.
Yeah, it's
I
great,
really enjoyed
great,
it.
great event.
I didn't really see that much in the world of boxing really that shone out and made me want to watch it. Did you, Sam?
No, but I did see a preview for a fight coming up this weekend. I don't know if you're going to mention it, but Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez.
Yes, yes, yes. I've got
I am very excited for that fight, even though I'm more of a British boxer fight fan. But overseas, this is a big one for me, I reckon.
yeah, definitely. Obviously, these two guys, it means a massive deal for them. Like they could be. It means everything. It's like one of the nights. It's like one of them epic nights. Like legendary fight. No, it seriously is, and it's going like under. It's going under the lights as well. Like no one really knows what's going on. But because Taylor takes on obviously Jose Ramirez on the 22nd of May, looking to become the
Yep.
first fighter in Scottish and British boxing history to become the undisputed world champion in the four belt era.
Insane.
That is mad. That is
It's
just
insane. Yeah.
that's unheard of. These things, like, obviously this if he was more in the limelight, like AJ and Tyson Fury, because there's always heavyweights are always the popular ones for some
Mm.
reason. But this is as big as that.
Well, they're saying, mate, like in America, they're all really, really excited for this one. They're saying this could be fight of the year candidate, and
100%. I completely agree because it's exactly the same for this guy as well. Ramirez could become the first. Yeah, I can't remember what it says. He would be the first American Mexican fighter to become an undisputed four belt champion. So he's got every bit every bit to win this, as well as it's a massive fight for
and
both of them. Yeah,
and there's so much on the line. You've got the WBA, IBF, Ring Magazine, WBC, and WBO light welterweight championship. It's immense. That's so many belts.
that is so many belts. Are they both undefeated? They are, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So Josh Taylor's an undefeated southpaw with 17 wins and 13 knockouts with no draws,
That's right. Yeah,
and Ramirez has 26 wins with 16 knockouts with no draws. So they're both men undefeated.
yeah,
It's going to be mental. I was watching an interview with Tim Bradley,
yeah.
and he was saying that he's calling it right now. This is going to be fight of the year. Both guys' temperament is war. That's all they think about, and he just feels that this is going to be a crazy fight and unmissable fight.
So the last two people that did this in history was Bernard Hopkins and Terence Crawford.
But
Yeah,
that
they're
was a
the,
long time ago, wasn't it?
they're the two. They're the two people that did it. Bernard Hopkins is, yeah, it was a long time ago. I don't know when, but Terence Crawford's like the most more recent one. But yeah,
Oh, it says here a fight like this hasn't taken place in nearly 17 years.
yeah, right. It's mad, isn't it?
That is mad.
Yeah, and obviously Scotland as well, putting Scottish boxers in the map. If he
Yeah, it
does
does.
this, like, obviously Scottish, British, whatever, but
There's
obviously
still another belt in the United
your
Kingdom, isn't it?
heritage is obviously Scotland, and
Yeah.
it's just an epic fight. And they're saying that the last time an epic, like a Scottish boxer, was on this kind of like night was like 50 years ago.
That's
Ken
mental.
Buchanan was his name. He became the nation's last undisputed world champion, but arguably none have been bigger than the bout that could define Josh Taylor's career. That's what they've just said on one of the things. Ken
That's mad.
Buchanan 50 years ago. Might have to watch that fight, see how that was, how that went. I
Yeah.
bet they didn't have the luxuries of today. I'll tell you
Would
that.
have been 15 rounds as well.
Oh, they had 15 rounds. I reckon they had bloody uh,
No knockdown rule.
hard gloves. I bet they had.
Yeah,
The
100%.
ring was terrible, but yeah, gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. That's going to be such a great fight.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
very looking forward to that one. Is there
yeah,
anything else coming up? Anything else coming up in the next weekend or?
not next weekend. I don't think there is. May the 29th, you've got Hani versus Linares, which is for the WBC World Lightweight title.
Okay.
Delvin, is it Delvin or what's his name? Devin Haney.
Oh,
25
Devin Haney.
knockouts, no losses. No, sorry, 25 wins, zero losses, 15 knockouts. And George Linares, 47 wins, five knockouts, 20 no 540. Sorry, I've got to start again. 47 wins, five losses, 29 knockouts. So that's a
Bloody hell.
massive fight.
That's a big fight.
I swear Linares was the one that had a fight with Lemonchenko.
And who won that?
Lemonchenko, I believe. I've pictured his face before. But yeah, they're saying
Yeah.
that on April the 17th, the fight was sold out.
That's mental.
So
That's going to be a mad crowd.
it's a big crowd. Las Vegas,
Mandalay Bay.
London. Yeah, that's right. And it's just going to be a great fight. It's good. It's Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's a massive Hanny fan, and I am too. To be fair, I've watched him a few times, and he looks just sensational. He's quite young as well, and he's always been like that kind of way. Like always
Yeah.
been ready for a fight, ready for a tear up, and he'll just bring it to you. Obviously, the other guy is 35 years old, and obviously the amount of wins he's had and the experience he can bring is unbelievable. So that yeah, so yeah, they're saying that like Linares could spoil all the things for Hearn if he beats Hanny on the card, because obviously he believes that he's faster and more powerful than Hanny. So let's see what happens.
See what happens. I'm looking forward to that.
That would be good. I reckon that would be a great fight, but unfortunately we'll have to wait until Sunday to watch it.
Yeah.
But I've got some rumours as well. Just for
Ooh.
I'd say Caleb Plant. Yeah, you know the guy that
Yeah.
they
Yep.
want Canelo to fight to
Yep.
unify all the titles. He wants £10 million.
Ooh, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but apparently it's easy to make. It's easy to make it happen, but because of obviously the sponsors and stuff like that, and all the people that would want him Canelo to beat him, they could probably go to America or Mexico or something crazy, do something crazy and fight somewhere just random, and then just
They could do. They
get
could do
10
Saudi
million.
Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia will do it. But no, they would probably want it in America. I understand that's silly if they don't, but that'd be a great fight. And I reckon 10 million. Get beaten up by Canelo. I wouldn't
Yeah.
take it, would you?
I would.
I don't know. I'm not sure. My orteal bone might break in like
Oh,
10 places, not 4. Yeah, so
nasty.
yeah, no, I don't really fancy that. David Hay came out this weekend and says that Joshua crushes Fury in an earlier knockout. But how
Ooh.
do you feel about that? What do you think, Sam?
I don't think that happens.
You don't think that it could
No,
happen? It's
it
boxing.
could
It's
happen.
boxing, but I'm
It's
not
very
sure.
true. I'm a huge AJ fan, and but for some reason, my gut tells me Fury gets this win. For some reason, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I think it's the way. I think it's the way Fury talks. He makes you believe him when he talks about
yeah,
something.
of course, yeah. Like that interview
I don't know what.
recently with on BBC with Eddie Hearn.
Oh, it was an intense interview, but you could see in Fury's eyes like he meant every word,
Yeah, he
and
don't mess around.
it makes you almost believe him. That
You know.
I
But
don't know. We'll have to see.
both fighters are good enough to win.
Yeah,
100%. I know Fury's great. I understand that Fury's great, and I know AJ's great. He's got knockout power. Fury, they might not be able to touch him. Bits and bobs. Fury's a better boxer. AJ's more like obviously poster boy. Do you know what I mean? So let's just see
yeah.
what happens. But August the 14th, now confirmed, Saudi Arabia. They're going to do like a press conference or a big display about it, but everyone knows where it is and when it's happening. Apparently, £75 million each.
That's insane.
And then there's going to be 5 million to pay for the undercard. So the undercard's going to be good as well.
That's going to be mental.
So they're
I'm
going to,
so glad, mate, that we'll get to experience probably the biggest sporting event of our time.
yeah, definitely when it comes to boxing, 100%. Like 5 million for an undercard is unheard of, really. I know that sounds like funny money compared to 75 million each, but 5 million for you get some really decent wonder kids and from across the whole world, really.
Yeah.
And people want to fight on that card anyway, won't they?
People will be begging to be on that card to get a bit of pay per view shares, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's it. That's all the rumours I had. I can't get any more, unfortunately. That's all I could see. But
Nice.
yeah, there's
That's been great, mate.
obviously
I'm so glad you.
big chats about obviously Dazan as well.
Mhm.
Dazan app in the UK is only £1.99 apparently, and
Oh, really?
obviously the Dazan app in America is £19.99. So obviously they're getting a lot more than we are, or they're getting done. So I don't know where that's all about and what's happening in Dazan, but they'll probably see that monthly subscriptions. But I thought it was amazing. I woke up on Sunday, clicked on the Dazan app, watched the whole fight in HD, Canelo versus Saunders, and I was laughing. I just £1.99.
Yeah, it was
It's
mental.
unbelievable.
But I couldn't get the Matchroom card on there the other night.
It's not always Matchroom apparently. Apparently
But I thought,
in certain countries. So because Sky has got the permissions for now, America can watch it on DAZN, but
right,
England
but no,
can't watch
but
it
when the
in UK.
deal finishes with Sky Sports, which is soon, isn't it? Then it's all going to be full on
Probably
DAZN.
on DAZN. Yeah, probably all on DAZN, which then your subscription will probably go to a tenner, but I'd happily pay it. I'd pay 20, 30 quid to watch a fight. The amount of fights
Yeah,
I've watched this year. So yeah,
yeah. I'm already subscribed, but
yeah,
it was I just shocked I didn't see any. Um, I couldn't watch the fight live on that app.
mm,
I had to watch it on Sky instead.
yeah. And also, there's some really good things on DAZN. I watched what did I watch? I watched some good documentaries and some good pre-fight like interviews and stuff like that. So obviously the Eddie Hearn's on it a lot, to be fair. But it's like pay-per-view rankings, and then them talking about boxing and will Canelo and Plant happen. So there's loads of like news and stuff like that, and like video
Mm,
just all about boxing, which is great.
yeah,
I think it's really good. There is some bits about football, but not much.
not much.
But they have fights on
It,
still for ages, like Canelo versus Saunders. The whole full fight's still there.
yeah, the
Like
full card. Yeah,
the
it's
full
mad.
card's there, and like I think it's wicked. I think it's really good. Tells you about
Yeah, I love it.
fighters as well. Gives you like loads of information about fighters, and like you can go into different levels. So yeah, wicked.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
I don't mind paying £1.99 for that.
no, me too. I reckon it's gonna be a big platform. It's gonna be like it'd be like our go-to area. Like like when you watch Netflix for films and stuff,
Yeah,
you'd be able to watch boxing anywhere we are. Like we
on
can
the
be down the
van.
pub
Yeah,
on Friday night and still got the boxing on the app.
yeah, definitely. I think so.
It's crazy.
But yeah, that's for me. I don't. There's no real boxing, obviously, that I can think of outside of those other fights. There might be, but that's only what I've picked up on and what I'm really interested in watching. And obviously, Josh Taylor. Let's go, baby.
No, there's no fights this weekend. It's only the Ramirez from Taylor fight this weekend,
Yeah,
which is worth a watch for anyone who's a fight fan. That should be a good one to tune into.
perfect. So that's number 10 done. Hey, Sam.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Let there be another 10.
yeah. Pleasure doing these last 10 episodes with you, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Pleasure doing business
And
with you. And we'll
yeah,
let have this business and partnership carry on.
100%.
Brilliant.
But
Okay.
thank you for everyone who's been tuning in every week, and we very appreciate your support.
We'll speak to you soon.
And we'll speak to you soon. See you later, guys.
See you
See you
later.
later,
See
James.
you later on, mate.